Hi, I'm Jamie Boss. Welcome to our video. Now in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you detailed step-by-step instructions how you can simply set up your acoustic steel string guitar. There's going to be a little bit different than setting up an electric guitar, and certainly going to be different than setting up a nylon string classical guitar. So this video is just for steel string acoustic guitars. You might not use all this information. You certainly won't have the tools to do everything I'm going to talk about and show you, but you will have the knowledge and the practical idea behind everything that the luthier is going to do to your guitar. Anytime you go to set up an acoustic guitar, there's a whole bunch of properties that we're going to go over that an experienced guitar technician or luthier or whatever you want to call them is going to be looking at in order to diagnose problems and in order to set up the guitar properly in the first place. At 120 thousandths, that's a little bit too high. It could be lower, but I wouldn't begin to lower that until I adjusted it at the nut. I could bring that down to 100 thousandths or even 90 thousandths as long as the fretboard truss rod was adjusted properly. Now we'll get into that a little bit later on. But the 90 thousandths here, less than a half a millimeter here, is going to make all the difference in the world of this guitar playing easily or wearing your hand out very quickly. This is a bridge plate right in here, and this is a very hard wood. Usually it's made out of maple, could be made out of rosewood. If it's made out of softwood, we have a real problem. And what happens, those ball ends of the strings end up coming through and they're resting against this hard bridge plate. And in turn, it's the ball end of the strings that are going against the bridge plate that helps transmit some of the sound. All right, just before we put the strings on, I'm just going to double check the neck angle, and I'm going to put a ruler on the frets, hold them against the frets, slide it over, and I want that ruler just to be even just about with the top of the bridge. So if the alignment of the frets are just even with the top of the bridge like this, that means that the string height is going to be set by the saddle. If this was dropped down like this, that means either the soundboard is lifted up, the bridge is twisted, or the neck angle is incorrect and it has moved forward. In either case, it involves a lot of work at a luthier shop. We're looking for the straight edge to be just even with the top of the bridge. That would mean that the string height is completely adjusted by the height of the saddle, and nothing else is making a difference in the string height. Okay, now we've got all the strings on and it's tuned to pitch. And we're going to check the spacing at the first fret. And as I slide my .46 millimeter pick in there, there's a nice drag on it, and that's all I want. Same thing for the next one. Same thing for the next one. Pull it out, we'll check on the other side. Slight drag, we're doing good. So we were able to drop this height to the right amount. And at the same time, we lubricated the slots in the nut for the strings so they won't squeak when we start to tighten them up. I did tweak the truss rod a little bit, so if I press down the first fret and I press down the 14th fret, and I have just enough space under the 6th fret to give me a little bit of relief. If it buzzed at all, I could always back off the truss rod just a little bit to control the relief. That's what the truss rod is for. And the last thing I'm going to check is I'm going to check to make sure there's a break angle for each string over the saddle. If I didn't have this break angle or downward slope, we'd have a problem. It would probably buzz there. But we have a break angle over each part of the saddle. So this guitar should be all set to go.